Here. Today I'm just wanting to talk about some of the SFR penalties that were handed out after round 7 at Suzuka in the Elite Division, and talk about how they're wrong and how I'm wanting to appeal them. So first of all, I'm just going to show here are at the end of lap 6, and I actually think it's the beginning of lap 6, I need to check, I think it's the end. But I'm going to show you a pit exit from Formula here, and I'm just going to go to the camera angle, the TV angle, and just show his exit. You can see on the end of the exit, he cuts the white line. That is clearly, it's very noticeable what he does. He crosses the white line. It's pretty blatant. If you ask me, I don't have to go in slow motion, but I will. You can just see the tires crossing the line. And now if I go on board with him just going into turn 1 here, you can see that he has a wider entry into the first corner, so he can carry more speed into it. And so that's a lot better first corner. That if we go to catch, I'm just going to, speak loud, for example. He stays within the track limits, or he does not cross that white line. You see he stays within it, and so he's entering turn 1 a lot tighter, so it's a worse entry, so he's going to carry a lot less speed into it. So it's very clear and blatant how cutting that white line is going to give the person a significant advantage, so it's worth penalizing. But I'm not here to talk about the pit exit penalties, since I think those are fine. I'm here to talk about the pit entry penalties. So at the beginning, I'm just going to skip back to the end of lap 6 here, and I'm just going to show Judoka as he enters the pits. So I'm just gonna slow down for a second, and as he approaches the pits, his tires, if we go to the race photos, you can see that his tires are over the grass. He has 2 tires in, 2 tires out. He's crossing the line. But what I want to check is, the thing is, he's actually going wider. So what I'm going to use as a marker is on the right hand side we have some grass and like some lines over there. So as soon as that disappears from the screen, I'm going to check the speed of the car. So as it disappears right there, the speed is 80 miles per hour. I'm just going to ride on board one more time and see what his top speed is as he enters the pits. Crossing that line is 80, and he gets to about 90. So now he got a penalty because he went in the grass. Let's compare it to Formula, who was right behind him. So 86, crossing the grass, he gets a penalty. Formula, as we'll just show right here, stays within the lines, and staying on board here. Let's see what speed he goes up to by the end of this white line as it disappears. He's up to 90, so he's 4 miles per hour faster. He's taking a tighter line, and again, let's check what his top speed is as he enters the pits. So he's already 4 miles per hour faster. And he gets a max speed of like 98 or 99, so he's going almost 10 miles per hour faster than Judoka. And let's just do one last check. Here I am behind Formula. So far we have 86 and 90. By that mark, I stay within the track limits, and crossing this point as it disappears from the screen, I'm going 89, and entering the pits about 99. So not only is Judoka going like 4 miles per hour slower by that mark, he's going about 10 miles per hour slower into the pits, but because he goes wide and goes in the grass, he gets a penalty. So I'm going to go into a second example. So not only did Judoka lose time, but then he got a penalty added on to that. So that just shows you how unfair these penalties are for pit entry. But that's not just, I want to show 2 more examples here, skipping on to the end of lap 13. Need to go to JMAG's, no, actually, sorry. Still have a little more time, if I can just find, there we go. So beginning of lap 13, entering the pits. If I just go into slow motion here, we can see, right as I enter the pits, go into photos, I got my tires just on the grass, clearly 2 tires in and 2 tires out of the line, so that is going wide. But if we, again, use this marker just to see our speed as it goes away right there, we're going 91, and into the pits, 96 as we slide. Now let's go to speak loud. He doesn't get a penalty. He stays within the limits, and as he crosses this, he's going 93, 2 miles per hour faster, and as we enter the pits, it goes up to like 100. So again, 4 miles per hour faster, 1 mile per hour by that pit entry, and because I went wide, because I lost time, I got a 1-second penalty. So finally, let's go into our third and final example here at the end of lap 18. just going to skip to J-Mag in second place. So J-Mag here, I would say this is the most blatant example of all. Actually, let's go Autista here. Autista makes the pit entry, does not get a penalty. If we just skip as the line disappears, he's going about 90 miles per hour into the pits, 99 or so. While J-Mag over here, J-Mag almost turns in super late, like almost doesn't commit, and he is not just 2 tires off, but he's 4 tires in the grass. Now, compared to all the other examples we've shown so far, I mean, yeah, like the pit entry's already started. He's not 2 tires in, he's 4 tires out. He just commits way too late. This could cause so many issues because he could get into the grass and then almost spin because he's absolutely no control of his car, or hit the pit wall and then like part of his car's trying to stick out, trying to get back on track. It could cause a collision. This is actually a dangerous issue. So even though he's going really slowly, as you can still see the white line on the right side, I'm going to speed up a bit, going about 76 miles per hour and 80 into the pits, and we're going to skip to Exotica back here. Just one more. However, Exotica, I'm not comparing, in this example, not only does J-Mag get a penalty, but Exotica does as well, because, again, as I've shown so far, I think his tire's on the line, and so apparently that's against the rules. And that's deserving of a penalty, again, crossing the line at 92, which is around what we've normally seen, and then 100, so that was a really good pit entry. You know what the pit entry reminds me of? It reminds me of all the other pit entries that haven't gotten penalties. So when handing out penalties for pit entries, I can understand, like, if there's certain tracks, like Lago Maggiore, like where you're cutting in like at a very late apex, that way you can keep like as much speed from the final corner. But here, I mean, what you're considering a penalty is if someone goes wide into the grass. They're taking a wider distance. For all the examples I've shown, they're going slower by that point. And I mean, in the only example that I've shown with J-Mag, he could be endangering others if he gets in the grass and hits a pit wall. And then again, he's losing that time to himself. He's going to wreck. He's going to lose all this time. He doesn't need to be penalized. And for people that don't get in the grass by 4 tires, if they're only 2 tires in the grass, they're not going to wreck. They're going to be losing time by themselves. It's self-inflicted. So there's no reason, there's no explanation for why anyone should be getting these penalties. For anyone from Judoka on lap 6, for me on lap 13, or for, I mean, Exotica, or even J-Mag on lap 18. So I hope this video goes to show that on certain tracks I can understand pit entries and to be beneficial if you cut them, but here, going wide, you're just losing time. You do not deserve to be penalized. Thank you, and see you next time.